And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I'm net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we will stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, fullest sounding broadcast station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 1,470 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. Our mission statement for the network is to establish a higher technical level of audio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics and current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring Rochester, New York, Milford, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, and Arlington, Virginia, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in this selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 2 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed north and south, the other east and west. The north and south mag loop can be rotated. They are selected by a 3-position rotary selector. Position 3 of this selector is a co-phase option that many times is 3 to 4 dB hotter than mag loop 1 or 2 by themselves. Also today, on the transmit side, we'll be running our NO-SWR specifically oriented dipole antenna. One leg of this dipole is broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg is broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today, we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today, that all of our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations, QSA 5, to be understood by all. And As we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters, and through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. And to continue, this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, and now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, Jim, beautiful copy, 2025 over 9 direct. Absolutely beautiful copy. The temperature outside is 23 degrees. It's overcast. And we may get a couple snow showers as some much colder air hits this way. And we still have over 15 inches or maybe 20 inches of snow on the ground. And this season so far, we've picked up 93 inches if you add up all our storms. But I'm copying you fine, and if you're copying me okay, I have a few words from Captain Mike. Go ahead.
Roger, Charlie. Well, for some reason, my Rochester and Milford SDRs are not coming up this afternoon, but I'm working on those. But I do have a 15 over copy on my local antenna. Roger, Roger.
Okay, yeah. The recording through your local seems to be more rounded and more natural than through the SDRs. But here's Captain Mike this morning, about 5 hours ago.
Okay, Charlie, I'm trying to find a good location here. We're coming up just right over the border here. We just entered from Iowa into Illinois here. This is KX4 Whiskey Charlie at 370. Showing 560 knots now with a 92 knot tailwind. 700 miles from Philadelphia, and the temp up here is minus 45. K1GZL from KX4 Whiskey Charlie. Be doing this again tomorrow, so we'll be listening for you there. KX4 Whiskey Charlie is 73 to everyone in the group, and we are clear.
Okay, how did that come through? Jim, KC9VKV, K1GZL. He was at 37,000 feet, and that's as high as he flies. He has a lighter cargo today. Go ahead.
Roger came through excellent. Now I'm wondering what it would be like to have a 92 mile-an-hour tailwind. That would be something else, Roger.
Oh, yeah, that's something. In other words, he was moving over the ground at about 675 miles per hour.
Oh, Roger that. Now, I think you were saying that his antenna is like 8 foot long, and it's in the vertical tail stabilizer?
Roger. It's only 8 feet long, and he's putting out 400 watts. And the wire runs right in front of the tail, where it goes up at a 45-degree angle. The wire is there, and all it is 8 feet. 8 feet long. It's incredible, and yet it's amazing. The weakest part of the signal is generally off the back of the plane, but of course he was pretty well facing me, heading eastward toward his final destination in Philadelphia there. But it's remarkable what band conditions will do. If given the right band conditions, you can get away with anything, including QRP. And that's always exciting. What can you do with QRP on the band? Go ahead.
Roger. Well, you demonstrated that with less than half a watt, making a fine trip. So how has communications with Australia been going?
Oh, very, very good. Very good. I had a nice chat with Ian this morning. I don't know if I've got the right tape here or not. I may not. I'm going to take a chance on this one and see if it is. I guess that's not the proper. Boy, I can't find it at the moment. Okay. Well, anyway, next week we'll try to get it on there. But your signal is absolutely outstanding. I'll turn back to you, Jim, and then maybe make one short one, and then I'll let you get a chance to work a lot of stations. You do an excellent job on helping people, and that's what it's all about. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, listen, I want to thank you very much for, again, some of those fine air checks of that aircraft. Aeronautical mobile transmissions do not occur, as far as being recorded very often, so you do have an inside track on that, Roger?
Okay, well, it's a lot of fun. And, of course, they're very busy up there. And, of course, they have to control... get a hold of the stations and the different fields are passing over and in a course adjustment, weather conditions. But here you are.
So that aircraft, aeronautical mobile transmissions do not occur, as far as being recorded very often, so you do have an inside track on that, Roger.
Okay, Jim, how did that one come through?
Oh, excellent, Charlie. I'm still copying you about 15 over on my local antenna. Roger.
Yeah, I always like listening to the quality coming out of your station because you've got that tune right to the button with complete coverage of the RF frequency. Well, Jim, I'll let you go, and we'll hopefully catch you next Friday. Stay healthy, and we'll try to do the same up here. We've got bitter cold air coming, but we're missing the storms. There's been one after another lately that have missed us. We had 2 inches yesterday, which is nothing, but the main storms coming up the coast are not. They're hitting the middle of Atlantic states, and out to sea they go until there's a change in the jet stream, which allows trough along the east coast and storms to come up into the Gulf of Maine. We're going to be high and dry for a long time, so I don't think there'll be anything up here for the next week or so. It's a zonal flow east from west to east. 73, Jim, and thank you so much for allowing me to come into your station. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, always a pleasure to have you aboard and opening up our Qso-Vlog net. So 73 down that way or up that way, and you have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend, and we'll catch you next Friday. This is KC9VKV. My name is Jim, and sometimes I'm better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. We are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV along with today's date, 1/22/21, and that will take you directly to this recording. If you just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page, where we're now running about 1,470 some odd Qso-Vlog recordings. So, and also today we're running our ISI, our input source indicator. This baby keeps tabs of all my input source selections. When I switch from my receiver to an SDR receiver, it will show that, and you can keep track of that. That'll be on our Qso-Vlog video on a YouTube search. So this is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Charlie 4, Sugar Mike.
Kilo Charlie 4, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilowatt Charlie 4, Sierra Mike.
Roger. What's the name there, sir?
Hi, Jim. The name here is Steve, transmitting from Roanoke, Virginia. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Steve. Sounds really good, sir. What radio are you running?
I am running an IC7000 ICOM using a Yamaha CM500 headset. I think I've got it adjusted pretty well. Compressor set to 3, transmitting wide bandwidth with the low end set to 200 hertz and the top end set to 2800 hertz. Oh.
Roger. Now, Steve, what you might want to do is take that bandpass all the way up to 100 to 2900. So, what you need is intelligibility for communication to be able to perceive what the words are. And when you go to the lesser band passes, you start rolling off the top. So, and there is the syllabic range being affected in degradation. So you want to run that radio in wideband, 100 to 2900. Then if we have any low frequency problems, we can take care of those through EQ. But by doing that, you're not compromising the top end as you would if you restricted the bandpass. Roger?
QSL, Jim, that makes sense. I think those settings were for the hand microphone before I was running the headset. In fact, this headset is very hot. I initially had to run the mic gain at about 2 or 3, but recently added a 20 dB attenuator so I could run the mic gain up around 25 or so, which would be roughly the same as the hand mic. But I just did, I set the bandwidth to a low of 100 and a high of 2900. So how does it sound now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Very, very good. Now, do you know where your transmit EQ is?
I don't have transmit EQ. I only can set my bandwidth, mic gain, and compression level on the 7000.
You have no onboard equalization controls at all?
Negative. My 746 Pro does have equalization, and I was disappointed to find that the 7000 didn't have that. I do have an external EQ. I've run that on occasion, although not with the headset. I've run it with a desk microphone.
Well, you're really close. You're really close. What I would suggest is that you take the boom mic and you run it out in front of you just as far as it can go, straight out. And then at the last minute, do that 90 degree so your mic capsule is right in front of you. But extend that mic as far out as you can go, and then do your 90 right at the last minute. Roger?
Okay, very good. It doesn't extend out very far. As a matter of fact, I'm listening through a speaker, and I have the headset just on my left ear, but I'm still listening through an external speaker. So I extended that out a little bit, and I would say it's now probably 3 inches away from my mouth, as opposed to the 2 inches that it was before. My ALC action now is probably averaging 50 to 60%, maybe peaking on 2/3 occasionally.
Yeah, ideal. And when you did extend out just that little bit, it made a difference in the bottom end. You're a little bit sharper now than where you were, and that's exactly what you needed. So I think you're in good shape now. You might just touch up your ALC reading to mid to 2/3. But you're really, very close, and the mic really sounds good. Usually, headset mics do have a tendency to be susceptible to plosives and mouth noises and stuff. But that mic is very clean for a boom mic. Roger.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate the information, and always looking to get reports on how it sounds. Nice to have the intelligibility. I know sometimes when trying to break into pileups, I will set it for narrow bandwidth, transmit bandwidth, or at least medium. And that does seem to help from time to time. But for just, general rag chew, it's nice to have a good sounding radio. Okay, Jim, well, thank you very much. Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. This is Kilo Charlie 4, Sierra Mike.
Roger, Sierra Mike. And, the wider band pass will help you in a pileup, because the ultimate the ultimate situation is you want to be not only heard, but understood. So the more articulation you have in your audio, the better off you're going to be as far as people being able to perceive exactly what you're saying. So with that wider bandpass, you have more top end for intelligibility to penetrate. Roger?
QSL, Jim. That makes a lot of sense. I guess there's different schools of thought on that. Some people, over the years, I've just heard people saying, you try to punch through a pileup and you want to switch over to narrow bandwidth. So I've done that on occasion. It seems to help sometimes, or maybe it's just random luck. I don't know. But this looks pretty good here. And I've been watching your signal on my pan adapter display. I do have a pan adapter connected to the radio here, so looking at your signal, I see a lot of audio right down to 100 hertz. Not a lot on the top end, although maybe I've got this in the wrong place. But go ahead and try it one more time for me, please.
Roger, Roger. You might check out to be sure that you're not running any filtering in your receive mode, because that would, obviously take the top end off. But we should be out there at 29 to 3, somewhere in there. Roger.
QSL, Jim. Yeah, the filter's at 3,400 cycles. So, your signal looks great on the pan adapter. Definitely looks good and sounds excellent.
Roger. And sometimes it is a matter of, trying to think what it is, like Aphex Oral Exciter. What that does is cue up top-end EQ, but it's not necessarily strength. It's just a compressed abundance of top end that really helps in the perception of the words. And so I am kind of doing that. Roger.
Okay. Well, thanks again for the information, Jim. I'll let you get back to it. I'm sure you got a bunch of people that want to jump in. Thank you again. Kilo Charlie 4, Sugar Mike.
Roger, Steve, 73 that way, sir. Thanks for dropping by. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. In between time and then, if you would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 1/22/21, that will take you directly to this recording, and so you can hear your radio and how it sounds like. And we do have a spectrum analyzer on the set, and that is tied to our receiver and also tied to my audio. And so you can see the whole thing there and see exactly what you're doing audio-wise. So 73, Steve, and catch you later. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. There's about 7 stations in there. Loudest one, try again.
November 2, Bravo Uniform Echo.
November 2 station. Come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically again, please.
Yes, Jim. November 2, Bravo Uniform Echo. N2BUE. Name's Ron. Gippstown, New Jersey. Over.
Roger, Ron from New Jersey. Gosh, what radio are you running, sir?
Yeah, running the IC 7300, Jim.
Ah, yes, excellent radio. What do you think about that 7300?
I like it. I've had it for, 3 or 4 years now. That's the only rig I've been using other than my Yaesu 991A that I generally use on VHF, UHF. But here for HF, I've been using the 7300. Over.
Roger. Now, on the receive side, I hope you're running that 7300 in the filter 1 position, which is the no filter position. And I hope you're not running your noise blanker. I hope you don't have to use that. And I hope you don't have to use your noise reduction. Those are nice entities, but they do degrade the audio signal to some degree. So, just running that 7300 in filter 1 and also in the wide band 100 to 2900, that radio is capable of frequency response down to 100 cycles. Roger?
Yes, Jim. Exactly what I'm doing. Filter 1. I don't run the noise reduction, noise blanker, nothing like that. Notch. Just the receive is what I hear. And, yeah, I like the radios. It's a darn good little radio. Very simple to use. No, a little bit of menu driven, but not that bad. Not like some of the radios. So, like I said, I've been using it for quite a while. Enjoy the heck out of it and make a lot of darn good contact. And by the way, you're 15/9. Very nice signal out into New Jersey this evening. The audio always sounds great. It sounds great. So I just wanted to get in there. I don't think I have spoken to you for since the new year. So I just want to break in there. Won't hold you too long. And just wish you a happy new year and keep up the good work, Jim.
Well, thank you, Ron, so very much, and always a good transmission from up your way on that 7300. And I'm going to do a little feature here right when we wrap up, and it's talking about the thinking outside the box for that 7300 particularly. So let me say 73 up that way, Ron, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend.
Okay, Jim, you do the same. I'm sure there's someone out there that wants to get a report on the radio. You take care. Very good to make a contact with you. KC9VKV, N2BUE. Keep up the good work, sir.
Roger, Ron, 73 that way. And now, time for another thrilling edition of Adventures in Radioland. This segment, Thinking Outside the Box. From time to time, I mention the fact that the actual heart of one's Radio Shack is the audio monitoring system. It is the incoming half of your QSO or contest. It makes possible the voice of your friends or your contacts around the world. It is that critical necessity for making two-way communications possible. Now let's face it, audio reality does not reside within a 3-inch speaker inside a very small box that is your transceiver. There's just not enough cubes. This is the major downfall of all HF transceivers. It is the #1 major shortcoming filter of your HF receiver. You can't really talk about EQ curves or audio balance until you have an audio system that can truly reproduce the range of audio involved. So you need to think outside the box. And the box I'm talking about is your transceiver. Get your audio out of that box and plug it into reality. Plug into your radio speaker out with a nice full-range house monitor system. You deserve to hear what's really going on. And I don't mean a pair of $15 computer speakers, which I guess would be better than your radio speakers. But for under $50, you can go to Walmart and get a nice full-range LabTech speaker system. Check out their LabTech speaker system with subwoofer. You don't need a Bose, but you do need to get something that will reproduce the bottom end correctly down to at least 100 cycles or so. A speaker system with subwoofers can easily do that, and for under $50. Here you spend $1,000 for a really great radio, you deserve to get the most out of it. And since I've been evaluating radios very closely on the Qso-Vlog net, I've noticed more and more radios with much more fatter audio curves on my spectrum analyzer. Transmit audio curves that go down to 100 cycles or so. But a word of caution, if your transmit audio content does go to 100 cycles, you must make sure that the rest of your audio, particularly the upper end, has plenty of content for balance. Otherwise, you'll sound muddy. A spectrum analyzer would be of great help in finding your transmit audio balance. So step up to today and utilize the tools we have available. And if you get a chance, you might drop by Walmart and pick up one of those LabTech $40 subwoofer speaker systems. You won't believe what a difference it makes to be able to hear what's really going on. So it's my thinking outside, my Radioland Adventures in Radioland, Thinking Outside the Box. This is KC9VKV, the Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Alpha Bravo 7, Hotel Zulu.
Alpha Bravo 7 station. Come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Alpha Bravo 7, Hotel Zulu. Name here is George. Golf, Echo, Oscar, Romeo, Golf, Echo. How are you today, Jim?
Very good, George. Where are you located, sir?
We are located in South Alabama and running a 100 watts into my ICOM IC7300, and I think I've got it set up like you've told the other guys. Over.
Looks really good. It looks really good. I might, do you know where your transmit EQ is offhand?
I do.
All right, if we could go to there and you could tell me what those readings are on your bass and treble control.
I am running bass of -1, treble of +3. Over.
Yes, sir. I would increase that treble one more click to 4 +4 on your treble. The bottom end sounds fine.
Okay, that just increased to +4. Over.
Yes, sir. Now, tell me about your antenna system in about 10 seconds or so.
It's pretty simple. It's an inverted V up 24 feet, and I am just running it into a automatic antenna tuner, MJF 939. Over.
Roger, roger. And just out of curiosity, what mic are you running?
I've got a Heil Pro set, and I'm running the mic that came with the earphones. Over.
Alrighty, and so your mic is on a boom?
Yes, it's attached to the earphone set. Over.
Roger. Well, like I was saying, you know, the best way to do that is to take that boom and go straight out as far as it will go, and then at the last minute do a 90 to bring that capsule, you know, onto your voice plane. But take your, you know, straight out as far as you can take that boom and then make that 90. Roger?
Yes. Does this sound any better? Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's nice and full now, you know, and very articulated. Roger?
I appreciate that. Yes, I've been listening to you and the advice you've given on others on the IC7300, and I've tried to set mine up accordingly, so hopefully this will be pretty quick. Thanks for your help. Over.
Yes, sir, George. Pleasure, sir. And like I say, you are running the radio of the century in my estimation.
Well, I've come to the conclusion it's a whole lot smarter than I am. Over.
Yes, yes. Thing is, you know, you have to run through the menu, but not quite as much maybe as other folks have. That 7300 isn't quite as menu-oriented, or it's easier to get to a lot of things than other radios, Roger?
Yes, I've noticed that. And the other thing that I really like about it, too, is it's pretty forgiving, and if you're making any major issues, it'll usually... you'll notice pretty quickly. Over.
Roger that. Now, I do recommend that you not use the on-air monitor in your earphones when you're transmitting, because if you have any leakage out of your earphones, you know, it will... there's a possibility that it could get into your audio, and that would not be the best thing. So, but if you do use your earphone monitor system as you transmit, keep that volume as low as possible. Roger?
Yes. Yes, I appreciate that, and I do not use the monitor system on the IC7300 at all. Over.
Roger. Yes, that's the best way there to not use it at all. Well, sounding good there, George. I think we got it, Roger.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. You gave me some help a couple of months ago, and I've been learning ever since. So I certainly appreciate it. KC9VKV, AB7HC. Thank you.
Roger, George. 73 there, sir. And if you get a chance and you want to hear your audio, go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 1/22/21. That will take you directly to this recording. So 73 for now. This is KC9VKV, the Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 3, November Papa.
November Papa station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
November 3.
Yeah, the call sign is Kilowatt Echo 3, November Papa.
Now, there's a November 3 station. Come back with your call sign, please.
November 3, Juliet Tango.
Kilowatt Echo 3, November Papa.
I'm trying to reach November 3 Juliet Tango something. Station, again, come back slowly with your call sign.
November 3, Juliet, Tango, November, JTN.
Roger, JTN. This is KC9VKV. What's the name there, sir?
Hi, Jim. It's Larry, Lima Alpha, Radio Yankee. I'm located in Leonardtown, Maryland.
Roger, Maryland. And what radio are you running?
I'm on a Yaesu FTDX10. I just had it a little over a week.
FTDX10, is that a Roger?
That's correct.
Alrighty, give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system, Larry.
Yeah, I'm running all center fed at 39 feet and running 100 watts. I think I got the rig set up pretty good. There's not a whole lot of settings out there available for the FTDX10, so I had to play it by ear. So I messed around with it, and I think I got it pretty good.
Roger, Larry. Do you have onboard EQ, equalization?
Yeah, I got it set up just like the FT101D.
All right. To my ear, you might need a little more top end. I would increase the top end 2 clicks treble boost from wherever you are at the moment. 2 clicks treble boost from wherever you are at the moment. Roger?
On this 10 is a little more complicated than 7300.
Hey, Roger that. Well, listen, let me leave you with it there. I'll give you a note. Increase your top end EQ, your treble EQ 2 clicks hotter than where it is at the moment when you figure out how to get to there. Roger?
The top end, you told me the frequency?
Yes, sir, your treble control. And you know, while we're at it, you want to be in the widest bandpass possible. You want to run that radio in the 100 to 2900 bandpass. Roger?
Yeah, that's what I got it. And I'm using a Heil 781 mic, and I'm talking sideways into the mic.
Roger. Sounds good, but it does need just a little more top end EQ. So note to self: increase the top end treble EQ 2 clicks from where it is when you figure out where it is and how to get to it.
Does it have too much bass or not enough lows in it?
No, your bass, your bottom end is fine. We're just looking for a little boost in articulation. Roger.
Roger that. Okay, Jim. 73. Have a great weekend.
Yes, sir. Larry, 3's that way, 73 that way, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 1/22/21, and that will take you directly to this recording. So 73 for now, Larry, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Juliet 4, November, Papa Tango.
Papa Tango station, come back slowly with your call sign phonetically, please.
Okay, Jim, this is Kilo Juliet 4, November, Papa Tango, Mike in Rome, Georgia, Jim.
Oh, Mike, gosh, a beautiful signal on my local antenna. I don't know what it is. My SDRs are not functioning well today. I've got a couple of passwords that don't seem to be working. But Mike, would you say your location was?
Yeah, I'm in Rome, Georgia, right in the northwest corner of Georgia, about 45 miles north of Atlanta.
Roger. And what radio are you running, sir?
I am running a FT990. Not a whole lot of adjustments that I know of, but I just figured I'd let you hear it there. Maybe I could pull it up on YouTube.
Oh, Roger. Well, welcome to another FT990. This one's fairly modified coming and going, but yours is sounding really good, Roger.
Okay, well, I guarantee you, is that what you're on, Jim?
Yes, sir. This is about a 35-year-old radio, 40-year-old radio, but it has been fairly well modified, transmit and receive.
Okay, well, good, good. I really like this radio. I got it about a year ago. I thought at a pretty good deal from an estate, and I've had good comments on the audio, and I try to set it soft where it's not hitting too hard. But man, I tell you what, yours sounds great.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Like I say, it has been modified. The receiver's modified down to 100 cycles as well as the transmit. So we're trying. But your signal's just great coming up from Georgia. You're at least 15 over, Roger. Roger, you're 20 over and 30 over at times there.
Well, thanks a lot, Jim. I know there's some more wanting to get to you, man. So you take care, and we'll look for you again out here. Appreciate your help. KJ4, NPT, Mike, and Rome. We'll see you later.
Roger, Mike. The only thought I might have is that you could put a windscreen on your microphone to avoid any transits. What kind of mic is that?
It's a MD1.
Roger. Is it running a windscreen now?
Yes, sir, it runs a windscreen. I guess I was talking right dead into it. I should try to talk sideways in it.
Yeah, that last transmission was perfect, Roger.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was doing. I was deadhead right into it. I put my 90 lips on it there, Jim. Thanks a lot, man. I'll try to remember that.
Yes, sir. 73 down that way, Mike. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. Again, if you want to hear that radio, beautiful sounding radio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 1/22/21, that will take you directly to this recording. So 73 that way, and we'll catch you next Friday if you get a chance. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. About 5 stations that time. Loudest station, come back and try it again.
Kilowatt 4 Mike Sierra.
Kilowatt 4. Come back with the rest slowly phonetically, please.
Mike Sierra. Kilowatt 4 Mike Sierra. Over.
Roger, Mike Sierra, KC9VKV. What's the name there?
The name is Mike, Mary India Kilowatt Echo. Over.
Roger, Mike, and what's your location, sir?
I'm not too far from Rome. I'm in Lithonia, Georgia, so I guess this would be considered the Georgia takeover. Over.
Well, welcome to where it has been. Come on, take over. What radio are you running, Mike?
This is an FTDX 1200. Over.
Okay, FTDX 1200. Okay, and if you would be interested in our tune-up setup procedure, it starts with engaging your compressor at a 3. Roger, it's a token amount, but it does exactly what we need for it to do.
Okay, compressor on a 3. Let's see here. Stand by. Okay, we're good.
Alrighty, give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system.
All right, here is Kilowatt 4 Mike Sierra out of Lithonia, Georgia, 17 miles northeast of downtown Atlanta. And wow, this is a quiet RF day. Over.
Roger. Now, you might want to go to your ALC and double-check your level. With mic gain in hand, go to your ALC and adjust the ALC from mid-scale to 2/3, and you'll be needing to speak a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That will get your meter up, and you can see where it is to adjust it by way of mic gain control for mid-scale to 2/3 operation.
Okay, on the ALC. All right, repeat the instructions for the ALC.
Yes, sir. With mic gain in hand, go to your ALC, and while you speak fairly quickly, 100, 200, 300, 400, so you can see where the meter is, adjust the meter movement to where it's reading mid-scale to 2/3 by way of your mic gain control.
Oh, very good. 100, 200, 300, 400, 100, 200, 300. Okay, that's about mid right there. Over.
Right, so actually it's a mid-scale to 2/3, so just a little bit more than mid-scale. Roger?
Give it just a little bit more, and there you go. Over.
Yes, sir. Now you're looking good. You're about 3 dB dynamic range, which equates to about 80 to 85% of average peak modulation. Roger?
Yes, sir. 100%.
So now your audio is a lot more crisp, a little more crisp. And what is the reading of that treble EQ control at the moment?
You said you want the EQ control. You want those parameters. Over.
Your treble EQ, what's it reading right at the moment? Where is it standing? Boost something?
Oh, okay. Let's see. I believe it's at on this radio. The treble would be the high end. Right now, it's set, I believe, at 2,000.
Not the setting, but the intensity. In other words, it's got a 0, which is neither cut nor boost, and then it's got boost, and we want to go maybe 2 clicks hotter than where it is at the moment on treble boost. Roger?
Okay, very good. Let's see. Stand by. Let's switch this menu out here, and we'll adjust. Stand by.
Roger, Roger. This is just the boost, not the. If it's a parametric, I don't want to increase the width of the parametric. Just whatever it is now plus 2 clicks boost.
Okay, it's at a 5.
And out of how many? How much more you got up there?
It goes all the way to 10.
All right, put it on a 7, and let me hear you.
All right, stand by. All right, I've got it at 7 now.
All righty, tell me something about your radio that you really like in about 10 seconds.
Okay, I guess what I like about it is they've kind of made the EQ, the menu is a whole lot easier to navigate than the other radios I've used over.
All right, is that a 3-band EQ?
It is a 3-band EQ.
All right, is the middle frequency flat? Middle frequency should always be flat on a 3-band EQ. That EQ, 3-band EQ, is designed to strike a balance between the top to mid-range and the bottom to mid-range. And if you push the mid-range, it's so much harder for the top and bottom to catch up. So the best thing is to take that mid-range EQ and leave it flat. Roger?
All right, stand by. We will adjust. Okay, sorry about that. It's a little sensitive. I kept overshooting it, but it's flat.
Okay, so you got your mid-range flat, Roger, and tell me something I don't know for about 10 seconds.
Okay, we have this rig connected to the U4P or whatever. Well, it's got a pan. It worked out very well, so it gives me 2 receivers when I need it, and it gives me SDR full spectrum range. Over.
Roger. So just out of curiosity, your mid-range is flat, your EQ top-end treble is +7, and what's your bottom end?
So the bottom end is, as a matter of fact, I have it off. it's off, and then it's set at the next step up is 100.
Not the frequency, but the boost. You know, like your treble control, your mid-range is set at plus or minus 0. How does that relate to your bass setting?
I've got it on -3.
Okay, pull that up to a -1 and let me hear you.
It's now on -1.
Alrighty, and just give me 10 seconds. Gosh, tell me about your ground system for 10 seconds.
Ground system. Well, everything's going to one central point, and it's interesting enough. I run coaxial on one antenna, and on my ladder line, I have coaxial running on each leg to the ladder line to the tuner, and of course I have the shields ground together going to the central point, so I get no RF in the shack at all. Over.
Roger that. Now we want to go back to our ALC. See, we've made some corrections in our EQ, so the best thing to do is always go back to your ALC to double check your level, because particularly when we brought that bass roll up to just 1 instead of -3, you'll probably have a little hotter signal now. Then you want to adjust that ALC to mid-scale to 2/3. Just double check that that's where it is.
All right, let's see. It is, it's directly on 2/3, so I'll just back it off just a little bit. Over.
No, 2/3 is fine. You know, mid-scale to 2/3, that's exactly where we want to be. Roger.
Well, that's where it is, 100%.
Yes, sir, Mike. Well, I think we got it, sir. Sounding good. If you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 1/22/21, that will take you to this recording. Roger?
Yes, sir, 100%. I love to hear you set these guys up, and I said today I would just kind of come down and listen in and shoot my shot. And yeah, I've listened to quite a few of your videos. So keep up the good work. We appreciate it. And take care. God bless. Stay safe. And enjoy, obviously, being on the top side of the soil. Over.
Oh, roger that, Mike. Yeah, you never can tell, boy. Things can turn around on a dime health-wise. So as long as you're percolating, enjoy and accomplish everything that you possibly want to do, because I think you never regret the things you do. It's always the things that you haven't done that you regret when you finally run out of time. Roger?
Yes, sir, 100%. All right, sir, continue to enjoy. We'll let some of these other fellas get in here, and we will continue to play radio. This is Kilowatt 4, Mike Sierra, bike in Lithonia, Georgia, saying 7-3.
Roger, roger, Mike, and just keep working that microphone that same way. It's just absolutely perfect. 73. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Mike 4, Sierra Foxtrot Mike.
Foxtrot Mike station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign. Foxtrot Mike station, come back slowly with your call sign. Station calling, come back with your call sign.
Kilo Mike 4, Sierra Foxtrot Mike.
Right, Foxtrot Mike, do you hear your call sign? Foxtrot Mike.
Yes, this name is Tyler, Kilo Mike 4, Sierra Foxtrot Mike.
Roger, Tyler, and what's your location, sir?
I am in northeast Alabama, Roger.
Roger, Alabama, and what radio are you running, sir?
Have an IC 7300 with 100 watts with a Shure SM58 mic, which is what I'm calling you for.
Yes, sir. Okay, 7300, we start with that compressor engaged at a 3. So turn your compressor on and adjust it for a 3. Roger, that's the beginning of our setup procedure.
QSL, it's on a 3 now. It was on a 7.
Yes, sir. 3 does just exactly what we needed to do. With that 7, if you were to not speak for about a second and a half, your background level would come up to the same level as your peak voice level. So we just needed to add a 3. So having set the compressor at a 3, let's move now to the ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly quickly, 100, 200, 300, 400, I want you to adjust your mic gain to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3.
QSL, as of right now, it does peak at about mid-scale.
All right, we want to push it just a little bit harder than that, mid-scale to 2/3. This is a pretty critical reading as far as trying to get your dynamic range to 3 dB.
Okay, that's my problem. My mic gain is at 100 right now.
Oh, I see. You run out of mic gain, huh?
Yes, roger that. I was afraid of this XLR mic. I may need a preamp in the middle or something.
I would say work that mic. How far away are you working it now?
I have a foam windscreen, and I'm touching the screen with my mouth, Roger.
Yeah, you're going to need something there to get that gain up, because you need more audio than that. You're running at 7300, Roger?
Yes, that's right. I got just a 7300. Got the mic plugged straight in with a mic switch adapter, and that's all I've got.
Roger. Now, do you have your hand mic handy?
I can get it quickly if you need to.
All right. So I think you're right now running probably about 20% modulation. That mic, for whatever reason, is not matching well with that 7300. So I would, in the interim, go back to my hand mic, which is an ideal, just a beautiful microphone for the 7300. You know, usually when you have a supplied microphone, it's not really that good, but that hand mic on the 7300 is just an excellent microphone.
Okay, roger that. What about the Heil 781? Do you like that mic? Are you familiar with it?
Not familiar with it, but the 7300 has a DC on the audio lead, and it's ideal for setting up a condenser or an electret microphone, which would be far outperforming any dynamic microphone that you might have. By and large, a condenser microphone or an electret microphone is much better articulated as far as the top-end frequency response than a dynamic microphone. Roger?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I appreciate it. I know I've heard your stock settings with the hand mic, so if I go back to that, I'll just play that through and go back and play with my mic gain and the rest of it. What about the EQ levels of this mic? Would it help to adjust that at all?
No, EQ sounds all right for what it is, but like I say, your dynamic range is somewhere around 8 dB, maybe even 10 dB, and 10 dB is unprocessed audio is considered to be 10 dB. So you need to, in order to rise to a 3 dB dynamic range, which is 80 to 85% average peak modulation, you need to have that compressor in there, 3, and then you need to get that ALC level up to between mid-scale and 2/3. The ideal spot is directly between mid-scale and 2/3, but you need, that full range to make that happen. Roger?
Okay, roger that. All right. Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate the information. I like the show. QSO 73 K14 SFM.
Roger. Now you can run it that way, but you will not achieve that full 3 dB dynamic range. Like I say, you're probably about 8 dB at the moment. So your performance audio characteristics would be better if you had more a microphone with a hotter output, or have that one possibly rewire it. I'm not sure,
Okay, roger that. Yeah, of course, it's just the Shure SM58. It's really just a stage mic, very popular stage mic, but I just didn't know, and I may work with doing some
a little preamp or something to go in between, but I'd have to really work on that so I wouldn't hurt the rig.
Roger that, roger that. All right, sir. Well, I think we've done what we can do. Thanks for dropping by. If you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 1/22/21, that will take you to this recording. Roger?
Yes, roger that. I'll check on it and see. Thanks a lot. 73 KM4 SFM.
That was KM4 FFM. Is that a Roger?
No, it's a Kilo Mike 4 Sierra Foxtrot Mike.
Sierra Foxtrot Mike. Roger, roger. Tyler, 73, sir, and we'll catch you later. Have a good afternoon. This is KC9VKV. We're approaching being whatever we turned into at the at the top of the hour, but I will take one more. If you want to hear what your radio sounds like, give me a shout.
Delta Echo Echo.
Echo station. You avoided the June rush there. Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Whiskey 3, Sierra Mike Foxtrot.
Echo Echo.
All right, there's an Echo station that I'm trying to copy now, sir. Come back one more time. The Echo station.
Kilo Oscar 4, Delta Echo Echo.
Delta Echo. Roger, roger. And what's the name there?
The name is Matt Mike Alpha Tango Tango.
Roger, Matt. And where are you, sir?
Atlanta, Georgia.
I copy that. Atlanta, Georgia. Is that a Roger?
Come again?
Your location is Atlanta, Georgia. Is that a Roger?
Yes.
All right, give me about 10 seconds, Matt, and tell me about your antenna system. I'll look around for a better path. Hello, Matt. This is KC9VKV. Do you copy?
Copy you loud and clear.
All right, Matt, give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system so I can look for a better path. Roger?
Roger that.
Roger, Matt, I'm sorry, sir. I'm not copying you very good now. You were up a little bit, but then the circumstances changed, and I'm not copying you very well at the moment. Try one more time, and let me see where these conditions are going.
This is Kilo Oscar 4, Delta Echo Echo. Name is Max, using a G5RV. G5RV running 20 watts. Kilo Oscar 4, Delta Echo Echo.
Roger, Matt, now let me ask you, sir, why are you running 20 watts?
I'm looking to get an amplifier in the future, but this is it for now.
Is that right? I didn't know that they had a radio that went 20 watts. But you are making the trip. However, you are right at my noise level. So if I had that other 70 watts, it sure would be nice. Or 400, depending on what your end product would be with a new amp. Roger?
Roger that. I'm kind of thinking about building a tube amplifier.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm all in favor of that. I think tubes are a lot more, from what I've heard, I've heard both transistorized amps and tube amps, and by far and away, I think the cleanest sounding amps are usually tube amps. And I think maybe that is because folks are pushing the solid state amps beyond where they should, and they just don't have the headroom to keep the audio clean. Roger?
Roger that. I work as an RF engineer, so hopefully I can apply some of that to ham radio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, that radio, what's you reading now?
It's a Xiegu or Xiegu G90.
A G90, roger, roger. And does it have any audio compression on it?
Yes, it has mic compression, which I'm running now. I can try it without it too.
All right. Well, what you need to do is set that on about a third of its capabilities. A 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. Just a third is all we need. Roger. Assuming we've got that, then we can move to our ALC. And what you want to do is, with mic gain in hand, adjust your ALC from mid scale to 2/3 as you speak rather rapidly, 100, 200, 300, 400, so you can see where the meter is to adjust with your mic gain control, and we want it to be mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC. Roger?
Roger that. Trying less voice compression now. Any better?
Are you at a 3?
I have to find the menu for that real quickly.
Do you have a input control, variable input control to your compressor?
Yes, I'm turning it down now.
All right, just turn it to about the 9:30 position, 10 o'clock, 9:30, somewhere in there.
Can you read me? Can you read me now?
Yeah, but not well. So, does that not have 1 to 10 on the on your input control? Do you have any sketch on notations on your input volume for your compressor level?
I have a scale that goes from 1 to 20. That's it.
1 to 20 on a rotary shaft that goes, you know, from here to there, like a normal volume control?
So this one is done electronically.
Well, gosh, I'll tell you what, Matt, what we're looking for is about a third of the capabilities of the compressor. So in your mind, however you might see that level, that's what I would put it. If straight up and down on that control is 50%, then we're looking for 30%. Roger?
Roger that. Let me tweak some stuff.
I'll tell you what, take it to 50%, give me a dead key for about 3 seconds, and let me hear you.
Okay, I'm running at 50% right now. 50% mic gain.
And give me a dead key. Okay, I hear nothing as far as ambient noise, so that position that you're running it in right now is ideal. Roger, roger.
Roger that.
Okay, so with that compression level on, let's move to your ALC. And again, speaking fairly quickly, 100, 200, 300. Adjust your ALC reading for mid-scale to 2/3 by way of your mic gain control. This would be something that you would do on the air as you transmit 100, 200, 300 and adjust your ALC by way of your mic gain control.
Okay, this is running 2/3 now.
All right, I need to see that. So give me 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system and let me hear you.
Okay, I'm running a G5 RV with a Xiegu G90 running 20 watts G5 RV dipole setup.
All right, so now you are at 3 dB dynamic range, which is exactly where you want to be, because then your average percent of peak modulation is between 80 and 85%. Now, does your radio have any onboard EQ?
Come again, couldn't tell the last sentence.
Does your radio have any onboard EQ, equalization?
Onboard EQ, I do not believe so.
Alrighty, so tell me about, in 10 seconds, something you really like about your radio.
I like that it is the cheapest HF radio that you can buy and still runs off a 12-volt battery pack and can run full power as well as has a waterfall display.
Alrighty, note to self, if you would care to, if you could double check to be sure that you do not have onboard EQ, which I would think that you might. What we want to do is to give that your audio a little more articulation, which will mean more top-end EQ, maybe 2 clicks or 3 clicks hotter EQ, treble EQ from where you are. So if you find that your radio does have EQ, we want to boost the top-end treble EQ by 3 clicks over where it is. Roger?
Roger that. Let me try something.
Alrighty, and also I would suggest getting a foam windscreen for that microphone to cut down on any voice, mouth transients. Roger?
Roger that. Trying equalization now. Moving the bandwidth.
Oh yeah, and you should be running mid-scale. You should be running that bandpass 2900 to 100 to 2900 bandpass. Roger.
Roger. I'm running 2675 currently.
I'm sorry.
I'm running 2675.
Well, do you have bandpass options? I would put it on 100 to 2900. That will give you the most complete top end that you can have. If you start restricting your bandpass, you're rolling off the top end, and you really need the top end for clarity and articulation. So I would put your bandpass at 100 to 2900. Roger.
Roger that. So 2900 now. Any better?
Yeah, your top end is better, and that's the whole name of the game is articulation. Because if you're particularly if you contest or you're a heavy QRM, you want the maximum intelligibility, and that occurs through your top end EQ. That's what gives you the boost, the edge to cut. And if you start restricting that by reducing your bandpass, you are rolling off your top end and intelligibility. So we can correct other things. By running in that full bandpass, we can tailor the audio through EQ to make it what we need EQ-wise. But if you run in a lesser bandpass, you are defeating the top end brightness. Roger.
Roger that. Glad I could get some of this sorted out right here.
I think right now you're sounding best as I've heard you. And if you are interested, you can go to YouTube and do a call letter search KC9VKV followed by today's date 1/22/21. That will take you to this recording, and you can hear I have a spectrum analyzer on the set that is looking at the incoming audio and my audio and all audio, and you can see precisely what's happening to your audio curve. Roger?
Roger that. Could I get that website one more time?
Yes, sir. Go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 1/22/21, and that will take you to this recording directly.
All right, good to go.
KI4YTV.
So, Matt, let me say 373 to you, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday, 73 for now. And Ed, how you doing, buddy?
All right, just walked in the door, let the dogs out, heated up the amplifier. Do you want to do an A/B test?
Yes, sir. That's what I'm hanging out for. I was waiting for you.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right. This is A, Mary had a little lamb. B, Mary had a little lamb. B, Mary had a little lamb. A, Mary had a little lamb. And they're both set to 200 to 2800. I don't know which one you like better.
Well, what is the difference if they're both set to 200 to 2800? What is the difference in the A and the B?
One's mid and one's wide.
On the microphone?
No, on the setting and function, but they're both set the same. But I heard that the audio is different. Did you notice any difference in the audio?
I didn't notice a dime's worth of difference, but give it to me again and let me listen one more time.
All right, there's A. Mary had a little lamb. A. This is Kilo India 4 Yankee Tango Victor. And now B. Mary had a little lamb. Did you notice any difference?
I noticed no difference at all, Ed. I just overall, I've noticed that maybe you might be just a tad hot into your ALC, where you're running about a dB.5 dynamic range as opposed to a 3. But no big thing there. But there is no difference. Now, if you would go to 100 to 2900 versus 800 to 2800, I'd like to see that comparison.
Okay, but that's where I probably started out. Hold on, I got to go in the menu real quick.
Yeah, I usually recommend setting all of those three settings to 100 to 2900 because there's no reason to compromise on the setting of that radio. It should be a wide band, 100 to 2900, so you keep that full top end articulation.
All right, I'm at full right now, 100 to 2900. And this is A, Mary Had a Little Lamb, A, and I'll do it O, and now on B, Mary Had a Little Lamb, B.
Yes, sir, I could hear A much better from the top end articulation aspects versus B. There's a noticeable frequency, top end frequency roll when you went from 2900 to 2800, Roger.
And which would you like better, A or B, or are they the same to you?
I like the wider frequency response because you have a cleaner sounding audio. Your top end is more forthcoming in that 100 to 2900, Roger. It's only slightly amount, but it is nonetheless more articulated than the 2800 rollout.
Well, they're both set there. I'm just making the switch, okay? Let's see, this A, Mary Had a Little Lamb, A, B, A, Mary Had a Little Lamb, B, A, I don't know, now I'm on A. Did you notice any difference between the high, the mid? This is B, A, B.
That time it both sounded pretty much the same. So I'm not sure what you're rolling in your different selections for bandpass, but just be my simple offering that you would always be better in the 100 to 2900 mode as far as articulation, because if you run in that 2800 mode, you'll be 100 cycle top end performance less than the 2900, Roger.
Roger. Well, okay. Other people had noticed the difference between wide and mid on the setting, even though they were set the same. I don't know if I'm just too much of a signal for you, or who knows. But I mean,
frequency's in use, sir. Frequency is in use.
So, I don't know. I'm going to keep it on mid, 100 to 2900. I think it tightens up the pattern of the...
Frequency is in use, sir. Frequency is in use.
Big station, and I don't want to splatter either.
Yeah, Roger, Ed. Well, what can I tell you? I would just recommend the 100 to 2900. Every 7300 I've ever heard always has sounded better in the 100 to 2900 mode, Roger.
Okay, I did notice the difference between mid and wide on the SDR, with the settings the same, and I just didn't know if you could copy that or not. Few people had said leave it on the mid. They said it was cleaner, so I don't know. Who knows? A lot of people had said it, so I didn't know if you noticed the difference.
Yeah, last time I checked, now there was one time when you were running 2900 and then you switched to 2800. There's definite frequency response difference in the top end.
All right, well, I'm just done with work. I got in the house. I'm going to get a cup of coffee. How you been?
I've been doing pretty good. Hey, I just was wondering about your EQ. Do you have your mid-range flat on your... Well, of course you do. You only have a two-band EQ on the 7300. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm set here. I think I'm, let's see. My tone bass is +3 and my treble's +2.
I'd kick that treble on up a couple of clicks.
All right, there's 3-3-4-4-4-4.
Now, I would have kept your bottom end where it was and boosted your treble EQ 2+ from where you were.
I did. I went from 2 to 4. I'm on 4 with the treble.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That helps. That helps. It's got a little more bite to it, a little more intelligibility, Roger.
Yeah, well, you know how it is when you listen to the SDR, even if you record the thing, when you play it back because it's your own voice, you think you sound funny.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, what I've noticed in SDR, since I usually run 4 each session, that they're pretty good, but they do have low-frequency rollout. SDRs, internet SDRs tend to roll out at 300 cycles or so, whereas my local receivers good down to 100 cycles, Roger.
That guy's wide. I think he went to wide. He sounds like a kazoo here.
Yeah, Zulu. All right, man, I am past my time here. I got to get out, Ed. But good talking at you, sir, and you have a real good afternoon, beautiful weekend. And again, you know, we are recording, so if you want to hear it, you go to YouTube, do the call letter search, KC9VKV plus today's date, 1/22/21, will take you right to this recording, Roger.
Yeah, I'll look at a couple days. And by the way, like you, I find those SDRs to be fantastic for running nets because it seems like a lot of people can hear me that I can't hear. Whether they're running compromised equipment or low wattage or compromised antenna, it helps a lot running the net. Instead of asking people if they're back to net, you can hear them on the SDR when there's just a little scratch on my radio. KI4YTV. All right, Jim. Have a nice day.
Roger, Roger, Ed, 73. This is KC9VKV, and as I look at the clock on the wall, I see a dead fly. No, I got to get out of here. We've enjoyed it. Hope you have. For anybody that participated, again, if you want to hear your audio, we have been recording now live till 5:25. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 1/22/21, that will take you directly to this recording. Now, if you just did a call letter search of KC9VKV, that would take you to our Qso-Vlog page, where we're now running 1,470 some odd Qso-Vlog recordings. But we got to get out of here now, and we will be returning this frequency back to regular amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV, and we will be clear.